Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
You could be driving.
Honda has won more U.S. News and World Report awards than any other brand in the last decade. And now you can add another one to the list, being named the best car brand of 2022. Come get your Honda today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siega Lane.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Welcome as we start today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you a day ago. We start today's show talking about senseless crime in Baton Rouge. And in no way, shape, or form is this exclusive to Baton Rouge, but obviously, being based in the capital city, it is growing in concern day by day, week by week, month by month. There are, and y'all please accept this in the spirit that it's given, because every life is precious and any murder is horrendous. But there are some families in Baton Rouge right now that I know for a fact would not mind in the least if you were to be so kind as to keep them in your thoughts and your prayers. This week, 20-year-old Brennan Murphy arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. And I would imagine at some point those charges will be amended to include feticide after killing his girlfriend, who was 6 months pregnant at the time, along with her 2-year-old son. It is something most of us can't begin to wrap our heads around. To have such poor decision-making skills and such a poor grasp of one's anger, whatever that may have entailed, speaks to the mental health of our community. You are talking about potentially a death penalty case. And I can't begin to imagine what the family of Kaylan Johnson is going through, nor can I begin to imagine what is going through the minds of the family members of Brennan Murphy, who allegedly carried out this horrendous act. Neither of these families, I'm sure, thought they would find themselves where they find themselves this week. Typically, we lay people tend to think there had to be some signs along the way that something was amiss. Whether or not that's true in this case, only those individuals would know. But the fact of the matter is, and some of y'all are not going to like this, but that's okay. Not the first time old Clarence has said something you don't agree with or care for, and in all likelihood, it probably won't be the last time. But right now, in the community of color, the African American community, if I were to take a guess on the two most profitable businesses in the African American community, I would tend at this point to lean toward a bail bondsman and or a funeral home. It is disgusting what we are watching taking place in our community. Another absolutely senseless and horrific murder. 22-year-old Javante Barber, senior, majoring in business at Southern University. Potential carjacking goes horribly wrong. He's murdered at an apartment complex just off campus by a 16 and a 17-year-old. Now, I've been covering this stuff long enough to know that the criminal element should never consider itself the brightest bulb in the chandelier. I think we can all agree on that, whether we are Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, heterosexual, homosexual, whatever. I think we can all agree on that point. But this 16 and 17-year-old that robbed our community of a young man doing nothing more than trying to better himself and his community by furthering his education, loses his life over something as inconsequential as a car. But to show you the mindset of what we're talking about here, the two individuals arrested for allegedly committing this murder did so in a location that is less than a block away from a police station. I don't know about you, but it says a couple things to me. One, there is the obvious, no respect for life, no respect for authority. And two, no forethought for what the ramifications could be for one's actions. You will hear from Democrats, the left, liberals, the mainstream media. You will hear every single time you open your ears that white supremacy is what black folks need to worry about. You will hear over and over and over again, it's those evil conservatives that are the root cause of all the problems in the black community. You will hear that racism is running rampant in this country. Now, I don't know about you, but where I live is probably 98% African American. And on any given day, I will interact with God knows how many white people. Huh? I'll leave to you to take a guess which ones scare me on a day-to-day interactive basis. You decide. My gut tells me our answers are probably what and what. But that's not what the media will portray to you. I found it interesting this week Baton Rouge Mayor Sharon Weston Broome in Washington, D.C., presented an award by Joe Biden for Baton Rouge's efforts to curtail violent crime. Don't adjust your TV set. You heard me correct.
It's Comedy Central.
This is not Comedy Central. You heard me correct. At what point, y'all, do we get sick and tired of being sick and tired? At what point, y'all, do we demand better? Of course, now, you have to have individuals that are in touch, individuals that are worthy of your trust to go to. When the second in command of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus this week comes out and says 2 big priorities for the Black Caucus for this legislative session: infrastructure and criminal justice reform. Did you hear anything at all about the ever-rising, ever-expanding, out-of-control homicide rate for black people, particularly young black men? That's rhetorical. I know you didn't hear it. I didn't either. That, my friends, says a lot without saying a word. Just an observation. We're coming up on our first break of today's show. He was castigated at the time, called all sorts of ugly names, demonized. When he uttered this statement, the media is the enemy of the people. Come to find out, once again, Donald J. Trump was right. We'll talk about that when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, right here where you've got it, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-30, named an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Perfect for the journey ahead.
Start your journey in a new Mazda CX-30. Right here at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. If I were to label this segment, it would probably be something akin to be careful where you get your news. In recent memory, the mainstream media, social media, and those on the left have shown us in no uncertain terms that they no longer hold in any regard, simply giving us the facts and allowing us to make up our own minds about what's true and what is not. Spin, as it's called, has become an art form. And sadly, for the uninitiated, the uneducated, and the unaware, those on the left will use your vote to do things in your name. Things that millions and millions of our fellow Americans, and you as well, don't believe in, know it's a lie, but they are now emboldened because they have your vote to do these things in your name. You may remember growing up, if you had good parents, they informed you that you can tell a lot about a person by past performance, meaning things they've done in the past are a pretty good indicator of what you can expect from them in the future. Enter the national publication USA Today, which bills itself as America's newspaper. As you are probably aware by now, it's Women's History Month. So to celebrate this, as other publications and institutions do on occasion, they come up with their Women of the Year awards, where they bestow upon women this lofty honor of being the best there is at representing womanhood and all the great ideals that are encompassed therein. So this week, when USA Today publishes their list of the Women of the Year, of course, people started going down the list to see who these accomplished women happen to be. According to USA Today, quote, Women of the Year lead and inspire, promote and fight for equity, to give others a place to seek help and find hope. Sounds good so far, right? Equity, fairness, buzzwords that you hear from the media these days. And then they started looking at the names on the list of the nominees for Women of the Year. Of course, on the list of Women of the Year, you got it, is a dude. You can't make this stuff up. Assistant Secretary of Health, Rachel Levine, a dude that thinks he's a woman, is one of USA Today's Women of the Year. Now, this is rhetorical. We already know, y'all. It's rhetorical. I'm just making a point. What do you think USA Today represents? Liberals or conservatives? What do you think USA Today identifies with? Democrats or Republicans? Bruh, you're a dude. Pure and simple. But here's the problem, y'all. This entity, USA Today, bills itself as America's newspaper. Okay? If you're America's newspaper, conventional wisdom would say you are doing your level best to inform America on the stories of interest to America, and you are going to give Americans the facts of the story, unfettered, unfiltered, and allow us to decide for ourselves what we think about any particular issue. If you call yourself America's newspaper and you can't figure out the freaking difference between a man and a woman, if you're going to lie to me about this, and I see it, I'm looking at bruh. I'm looking at, bruh got knuckles bigger than mine. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the Adam's apple in your throat. I'm looking back at pictures before you transitioned, and as pure as the day is long, you're a dude, bruh. You're a dude. Always have been, always will be. I don't care what you cut off. There's a little thing called chromosomes. For those of y'all that slept in biology class, there's a little thing called DNA. For those of y'all who've been asleep all this time. If you can't figure out the freaking difference between a man and a woman, what else have you screwed up in your stories? America's newspaper. If they will lie to you about this, just imagine what else they'll lie to you about. Not just lie straight to your face, look you right in your eye and lie to you. They know it's a lie, you know it's a lie, and bruh knows it's a lie. But they'll do it to you with a straight face. And then call you all sorts of ugly names, want to cancel you, want to take away your rights, your freedoms, and your liberties just because you know it's a lie. You know, it's amazing. One of the idiosyncrasies of life that make this existence so marvelous is how you can live certain things and have certain people tell you certain things about certain things, and then a little later on down the road you find out, they were actually telling me the truth. Or in this case, they've been lying all along. If it weren't bad enough that you are totally, blatantly disrespecting women, you do it in Women's History Month. And they do it in your name. That's a liberal newspaper, and I use that term loosely. That's an institution, an entity that identifies with Democrats. They're doing it in your name. But when all is said and done, Kamala Harris said it just this week. Y'all told us what you wanted. You voted for it. So be happy, because now you're getting what you wanted. These are the same people, y'all, that this week, when the NC2A's national championship in women's swimming will have a guy that's going to shatter all records. And to show you what they think about you, to show you just how freaking stupid they think you are, when he wins, they're going to put his name in the women's record books. Malcolm X was wise beyond his years when he said the greatest threat to this country is the white liberal. Oh, and he added, the biggest threat to the black man in America. Boom. Bottom of the hour break. Speaking of liberals, I guess I'll call this next segment, that's a hell of a job if you can get it. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Driver assistance technology comes standard on every Camry model as part of Toyota Safety Sense, setting the standard for safety every time you're on the road, no matter the destination. Save on your Camry today at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bus Show. You know, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. Watching this nation that I so dearly love implode in such a short span of time is painful. If you have been to the gas station anytime in the last 14 plus months, you know that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, and the entire Democrat establishment have no idea what the hell they're doing. Well, now that I mention that, maybe I need to back that up just a little bit. They know what they're doing. They knew what they were going to do, which is why on the very first day in office, Joe Biden took out his pen and canceled the Keystone XL pipeline. Now, to hear him tell it, 40-some years in Washington, if you had just a lick of economic sense, you would understand supply and demand, and you'd know that your actions were going to result in increased gas prices. So this week, Jen Psaki, a.k.a. Peppermint Patty, was asked about gas prices once again. Quote, in terms of how far, we still believe it will continue to go up. Prior to this gas price debacle, I couldn't find one single thing that the Biden-Harris administration had told the truth about. Well, there's no problem at the border. Come to find out, 2 million folks walked in. Well, let's not get hysterical about crime. 15 cities, major cities, set all-time homicide records. Masks will stop you from getting COVID. And if you get the jab and the booster, you can't catch it, you won't spread it. They have lied about every freaking thing under the sun. But this week, they told the truth. Gas prices are going to continue to go up. So what's their plan to fix this? Well, go out and buy an electric car. I mentioned a phrase to you just a couple seconds ago, supply and demand. Did you see where this week Tesla announced every car they make, electric vehicle, is going up? Anywhere from $2,000 to $12,000 per car. What they want you to run out and buy. Right now, the cheapest Tesla that you can buy, new, $46,990. That's the cheapest one they make. The most expensive Tesla they make went up this week alone by 12 grand. $138,990. Now, far be it from me to ever question the finances of any group of people. But I'll tell you this, ain't a whole lot of black folks I know have at minimum 46 grand laying around, and you sure as hell don't have $138,990 hanging around to go buy a freaking electric car. Oh, and by the way, it gets better. It gets much better. What they haven't told you yet is every time someone, sucker, buys an electric car, you get this much closer to them instituting a tax for every mile you drive your electric car. Now, Clarence, how can you say that? Here's how. Every time you buy a gallon of gasoline, a portion of that goes to the federal government, the gas tax. It amounts to $49 billion every year. They use that money to build roads and bridges. But since you decided to buy into the fake narrative, run out and buy an electric vehicle, you're no longer buying gas. So how are they going to build more roads, repair the existing roads, build more bridges, repair the existing bridges? They're going to tax you for every single mile you drive. But remember, I told you it gets better. It gets much better. Inflation, the highest it's been in 40 years. And of course, we all know who inflation hurts the most. People who earn the least. You only have X amount of dollars to begin with. Now, all of a sudden, you got to spend more for gas, more for groceries, more for every freaking thing you can buy. Guess who's going to be hurt the most? I'll give you a hint. It's your Democrats' most loyal voters. That's right. Y'all catching on. Y'all catching on. Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. You struggling. fill up your gas tank, your wallet light as a feather. Just trying to go to work and get back home to your family, you bringing home less money. So guess what happened recently when Congress passed the omnibus bill, that 2,700-page monstrosity? Buried in the fine print, Congress, Democrat-led, White House, Democrat-led, inflation punishing Americans like never in our history. We now find out Congress voted itself a 21% increase in their funding. Must be nice. Wouldn't you like to have a job where inflation is ravaging your income, but you don't have to talk to anybody, you just vote yourself a raise? A 21% increase in their funding. Now, what makes this most egregious, and this is for those of y'all that slept in civics class, this 21% increase that Congress voted for its own budget, that's your money. The United States government has no money. They don't produce a single product that you can put on a shelf, sell it, and make a profit. The only money these clowns have is the money they reach into your pocket and take from folks who work. And while you're suffering, while you don't know if you're going to be able to feed your family with the money that you have left after gas, while you're struggling, they awarded themselves a 21% increase in their money. Oops, wait, your money. Maybe, just maybe, it's crap like this that has a record number of people that look like me and my Hispanic brethren in this country that are now saying, you know what, I'm voting Republican. Shame you couldn't figure this out before now. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If I were to get a label for this final segment, I'd probably lean towards something like, I don't know, we may be slow, but we get there eventually. We've talked on more than one occasion on this show about political maturity. Malcolm X once famously talked about how the lack of political maturity has hindered the African American community for decades now. Malcolm pointed out how the so-called leadership only focuses on register to vote, make sure you vote. But they never encourage us to make informed votes. Instead, it's register to vote, make sure you vote, and make sure it's a Democrat. Meanwhile, after decade upon decade upon decade upon decade after decade after decade of black folks only voting Democrat, what do we have to show for it? Well, let's see. We are the least educated of any ethnic group in this country, the highest dropout rate of any ethnic group in this country, the highest number of single-parent households of any ethnic group in this country, the most incarcerated of any ethnic group in this country, the least earning potential of any ethnic group in this country, the most victimized by crime of any ethnic group in this country, the most damaged by illegal guns and illegal drugs in our community than any other ethnic group. And I'll just stop right there. Suffice it to say, we don't have a damn thing to show for it. Pure and simple. I'm not going to pull punches. Black folk don't have a damn thing to show for voting Democrat over and over and over again. But there's good news, y'all. The Wall Street Journal reporting this week that black folks are waking up. A recent poll conducted by the Wall Street Journal shows 27% of black folks now say, you know what? The hell with them Democrats, I'm going Republican. You do realize, do you not? In 4 short years, Donald Trump did more for black people than Joe Biden has done in 40. You realize that, right? The lowest unemployment rate for black folks since they started keeping records. HBCUs, every single year, historically black colleges and universities had to go to Washington, D.C. with their hat in their hand saying, can you help us, please? How much can we get this year? So one year, they happened to be in D.C., and they called Donald J. Trump and said, Mr. President, we are, don't know if you've ever heard of an HBCU, but we're schools like Jackson State, Grambling, Southern University. Oh, yeah, I heard about y'all. Can we come by and talk to you? Sure, y'all come on over. So sure enough, the presidents of the HBCUs went to the White House, sat down and talked with the president, and Donald J. Trump eventually said, okay, what can I do for you? He said, well, Mr. President, we're here to secure funding for the next year. He said, okay, how much you need? Well, according to our figures, X amount. Okay, here you go. Signed it, done. Enjoy your stay in Washington. Have a great time. Nice meeting you. 30 million. Thank you, Marty. That was the figure. So the next year, President Donald J. Trump gets a call saying, there's a group of gentlemen here on the phone said they'd like to come by and talk to you. They're the presidents of the HBCUs. They came last year. Oh, yeah, I remember them. We had a great time. Tell them come on over. So sure enough, they went back the second time. They start talking about what's happened since the last time I saw you and so on and so forth. Eventually, Donald Trump says, well, what can I do for you today? Why are you here? Well, we're here for funding. You here for what? We're here for funding. No, it can't be. Just last year you were here. Remember? I cut your check, 30 million. Remember? Yeah, but that was just for last year. What do you mean it's for last year? Well, every year we have to come to Washington to find out what Congress is going to allocate us for funding. Donald Trump said, oh, no, bro, that's BS. He ain't say BS. You know what he said. That's garbage. You mean to tell me you have to come here every year with your hat in hand begging for money? This is the most important job in the black community, educating people. You mean to tell me you got to come every year and beg for money? I'll fix this. Trump pulled out his pen and said, this will cover you for the next 10 years. Oh, and by the way, while I'm doing it, I'm going to build in an increase for every freaking year. Donald Trump did that, not Joe Biden, not Kamala Harris, not any Democrat. But the media will have you think otherwise. Well, the media will have the 73% that's left think otherwise, because 27% of black folk done wised up, y'all. This is going to be so much fun to watch next election cycle. But the sad thing is, there are many of you watching right now that the media is going to hoodwink, snooker, and bamboozle all over again. These folks conned you into thinking this man is a racist. They conned you into thinking this man doesn't care anything about this country. They conned you by hiding his mental deficiencies from you. And now that you helped put him in office, it's your folks that's suffering the most. Joe Biden could not have entered the White House if it were not for millions of black folks voting for him. And who is being hurt the most by his policies? Funny how that works, isn't it? Sadly, a lot of y'all gonna fall for it again. Sadly, a lot of y'all have been so brainwashed to the point where it doesn't take much. You better learn to think for yourself, folks. And all you have to do, don't take my word for it. Please, I beg you, don't take my word for it. Just be honest with yourself. That's all you got to do. Are you better off today than you were with Orange Man? Are you better off today than you were with the racist? Are you better off today than you were with a guy who sends out mean tweets? That's rhetorical. We all know the answer. We all know it. The only question now is, next election, what are you going to do about it? My time's up, y'all, and I got to go. I see you, Marty. I see you over there. 30 seconds. This day, just like any other, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we ain't perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you could do about either one. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.